So I just need to figure this out. Actually, I don't need to figure it out. You'll figure it out more by doing rather than trying to figure it out. I was on the phone with my therapist the other day, and she was telling me that it would be healthy for me to just start doing more than thinking. And I've always struggled with that. I've always thought more about creating than actually creating. How can I do this right? How can I do this perfectly? How can I do this in the best way that suits me and the viewer? And how can I benefit from it the most? Whether it's from a monetary way or whether it's from a clout based way. I like to express through comedy videos or like trend videos. Just the idea of blowing up seems really exciting to me because that's like 225,000 likes on a TikTok video. Like you made people feel something, and like that's all for you. Except that it's not all for you because you can't control how you make people feel, whether it's positively or negatively. You can't control how the world views you. You can't control other people's perceptions of you. But to know that hundreds of thousands of people liked something that you did that came from your brain, that's pretty validating. Not that you should live for other people's validation, but it feels good to get your flowers. I think this is one of the healthiest things I could have done for myself in my entire life because I've just spent years watching people my age or around my age or at the time years older than me, and I'm now getting to the age that they would have been at the time. So mid 20s, where they're just out here, man. They're expressing themselves. I'm a pretty expressive person. I always have been. I remember in the second grade where my teacher, she was saying that make sure that you know, this is going to be verbatim because this was literally like 16 plus years ago, where something about doing a job that suits you. And I remember I would be sitting with what's the position when you're in a chair and you're sitting with it reversed so the back of the chair is on your uh, it's like facing towards your chest. And I remember rocking back and forth on it like I was riding a horse. And my teacher is saying Rashawn's gonna definitely want to do a job where he has to move a lot because I've always been moving around. I've always been just on the go. And yeah, I'm a pretty physical person. Like one of the other ways I like to express myself is through breaking, b-boying, or how most people know it as is breakdancing. So I'm just gonna say breakdancing because yeah, yeah, that's just the mainstream term for it. Breakdancing is such a unique art form because, yes, you can do things that people commonly do to strengthen themselves, like going to the gym or doing calisthenics to really strengthen the joints. But for the most part, is you're just making it up as you go along outside of the basics. Like, even the basic movements they were made up. Like, everything's made up. But eventually you get to a point where you can't just copy what's on the text. You can't just copy what's the foundation. You have to eventually make it your own. And I've been thinking so much about making things your own artistically, but also socially, like how you walk in the world. You know how we're all taught our standard language depending on whatever country you're in. And then eventually you begin to make your own essays, you begin to make your own sentences, you begin to make your own structured way of speaking, your slang, your jokes, just your insults, like how you even get away with being passive aggressive. I don't know, but you eventually you learn the foundation, and then you get colorful with your language. And yeah, I just think at this time in my life, that's something that I need to do. Um, And seeing people my age just do it on the internet by just creating. I'm a creative person. I've always been creative, and that's the best thing I can do for myself. But also, at the same time, though, it's back to my other point. What you do is good for yourself, but it's also not about you. Like, you never know how it's going to make someone feel. Your words or the situations that you find yourself in that cause you to say or act in a certain way, to speak or act in a certain way, is it's crucial to how someone else will speak or act later. So it's best to always try to consciously do that positively. Um, yeah, you if you're in a teaching position or if you're doing public speaking of some sort, you can't control again how other people are going to act after they hear your words or the video that you put out there. But if you're doing it with good intent and you're trying your best to do it the right way, like, it can benefit the next person, and then that benefits that person, the next person, the next person. Influencer, right? I guess that's where the name comes from. I've always thought of influencer as such a pretentious name because I guess just because of all the jokes that are made about it, especially growing up in the through the mid 2010s as well. Oh, what do you do? I'm an influencer. It just doesn't sound like concrete. Like, what are we influencing? What are you getting at? Influencing. I don't know. But I think influencer should only be for something positive. Maybe not, because as long as it's not for something negative, because we've had plenty of negative influencers throughout history, right? So you can influence someone for fashion, you can influence someone through jokes, through dance. Yeah, influencer. I think influencer is very art based. You have to be creative. Influencer is creative, it's art based. Yeah, you need to be creative in order to influence people. So see how it all, I don't know, it all ties together for me. Yeah. So what else? I have my talking points here. This is my first YouTube video. Okay. So give me some grace here. Um, yeah, you mean something to a stranger at the right time. Whether it is through videos or whether it is through helping someone on the street. I remember a time when someone was riding on their bike beside me on the sidewalk and they had a slip, and I just quickly helped them up. And yeah, they just went about their way. Obviously, I don't know, I don't ask for their name. You don't ask for their name. They just kind of dust themselves off and they keep going. I remember earlier this summer, I was on my way I was traveling. I was at the airport and I was afraid I was going to miss my flight. And I was asking one of the workers at the airport, like, where do I go? And obviously, he doesn't know my name. He's just there to help me. His words helped me out. And I was able to get there before, right on time, before the plane was getting ready to lift off. So, yeah, I don't know if that was a good point. I don't think that was a good point. I don't know. You can see me trying here. Again, it's my first time, but still, yeah. Um, yeah. Just it's not all about you. Hmm. There have been times in my life where I've had the opportunity to just do what I love and get paid for it, and in turn, people were also inspired by it to do the same thing, which would be acting. I got to act on stage for a musical this summer, and kids came in to see the show, and we heard back feedback after the kids got on the school bus that the kids really loved it, and they're really looking forward to eventually getting up to our level one day. I think about that. I think about how when I was a kid and I saw my first musical done by high schoolers when I would have been in the 8th grade, and getting on the doing a field trip for that. And it's just funny how life is such a full circle moment, and how what they were doing for the joy of it, for themselves primarily, then inspired me secondarily to go and do the same thing 8 years later, six, 9, 10 years later, right? So I would have been 14 when I saw my first musical. I'm 24 now. 10 years. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, it's not all about you. Everything you do, everything you say, it all impacts someone. Hmm. Another way I've been inspired was, I remember when I was also in the 8th grade, I wanted to be a YouTuber. I would watch Smosh a lot growing up. Ian and Anthony, man. It was real comfort, after school comfort for me. And for them, it brought them a lot of joy to be all weird and creative and wacky. And that's another thing I really enjoy about content creation, is that by you just being your authentic self, or taking the time to understand that, especially through your mid 20s, because you're just going through so many changes. I'm 24, by the way. So many changes. It's like you're inspiring someone else who may have it deep in their heart to do the same thing and want to be online. And if you don't want to be online, that's totally cool as well. I honestly don't understand, or I can't fathom the point of view of someone just wanting to be like, I'm okay. But I can, but at the same time, I think I can, because it's the internet, and I'm pretty sure Zach Galifianakis, the actor from The Hangover, said the internet is the Wild West. And it is. It is true, because today I was watching one of my favorite TikTokers, um, Chief Queef, and don't quote me on that. Chief Queef, and she was responding on TikTok. You know how you can respond on to someone's comment and make a video out of it? She was responding to a guy that was calling her chopped. And for those that don't know, chopped means ugly. Okay? And all she had to do was screenshot the person that was calling her ugly, screenshot his profile pic, and she just laughed. There were two clips of her laughing in reaction to the guy's comment beside his profile picture. That was it. She was just laughing. 225,000 likes, 1.6 million views. What was I talking about again? Right. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. Just being yourself. Like, she's someone that's totally authentically herself, and it's pretty admirable. I I don't know, I just feel something so deep in my heart to when I see people being themselves online. I want to get up online and do that too. Especially if you get rewarded for it. Ooh, I've fantasized so much while working so many jobs I disliked. Like, man, one day I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get paid to be myself in some way. So I think I was always supposed to try to be a content creator of some way. But at the same time, though, again, like, it's not all about me. Even if I only get 1,000 subscribers over the next 10 years, I don't know, I think I'll get more than that, because I'm gonna put a lot of effort into this. Um, my words are beneficial to someone, especially on the recommended list of your favorite YouTube videos, or when you have a YouTube chain stacked up, when you just want to binge YouTube. The new recommended videos, when they have 15 views, when they have 20 views, I don't really watch videos like that. I guess I'd like to be watch someone that's more established, but that doesn't mean that the person with low views isn't going to be established in the future. They know what they're talking about. regardless of hype or views or likes, what they have to say matters, and it's helpful to someone outside of their own need to just get it out of their mind and put it somewhere. I think it's really important to do that. I get inspired by people when they are showing off their outfits on TikTok, because then I'm finding great new sounds as well. I just love how people aren't afraid to be cringe. Like, that's the thing, being cringe is so subjective. Like, who cares? And if it's not illegal or harming anybody, life is going to be the same tomorrow. Or it can be even better tomorrow because you decided to show up. And that's what I want for myself. I want to express. I want to get paid to express myself. I want to get prayed. I want to, yeah, you know what? I should pray to express myself. I should pray that I get paid to express myself. Bars. I'm not a rapper though. I love taking the pressure off of myself. I love learning that in life as I get older, it's getting more and more ingrained into me. You have to do it your own way, no matter how much studying, no matter how much thinking you do, right? Like how we talked about. No matter how much thinking or planning you do, you have to eventually get up and do it. Because if you think too much about it, you won't get anything done because you're overthinking. And I'm an overthinker. I'm a chronic overthinker. I can't control it. I can. I actually can. But just exaggerating. I think taking the time to just make that first 15-second, that first 45-second video, it's a big leap of faith. And even if it doesn't blow up, which shouldn't be the entire point, it should mean something to somebody. I remember, again, I was watching Chief Queef on Instagram, and she was showing off snacks that she got from an H Mart. I would have never known or have been inspired to try those snacks. And now they're on my radar because she decided to share them. Life is so much about sharing and experiencing. Again, it's not all about receiving. Sometimes the best thing you can receive is the joy of sharing with someone else and knowing that it helped them for the better. And I want to do that because I believe I have the gift to. I think I was supposed to be here talking to you, even if it's one of you, and while you're washing the dishes or some shit, and just making you feel like you can go for it. Don't think too much on it, just go for it. Again, this is my first YouTube video, and I just decided, like, I can't. I tried to think as little as possible going for this, as you can tell. I'm like, let me set it up right here. I don't care about the quality on my laptop too much. I actually like how it looks like this was filmed years ago, like in 2012. I like how, look, I even happen to have this mic that I bought 2 years ago that I was going to use for something completely different. And, you know, nothing goes to waste. And now I'm here talking to you. So, yeah, I plan to be a little bit more organized with my talking points in the future. But we'll see how it goes. This is also a nice experiment for me to just don't think too hard. Sometimes you just have to do, and then learning from the doing, you'll end up thinking anyways. So don't think too much because you'll end up having to think after the doing. So, yeah. Okay, my thoughts are a little all over the place. That was me giving it my best shot, my first shot. Yeah, okay, bye.